What has the COVID-19 virus made you realize? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That I was working too hard because of all the suffering. I'm actually kind of ashamed to admit this has been great for my mental health. That my job doesn't care if I die. Having the option to do something and not doing it sucks far less than not having that option at all. Because of the lockdown, I found that people think my preferred way of living is hell. How many jobs and meetings really can be done remotely? That minimum wage workers are way more important than people think, and that people would be screwed without entertainment. That a company can run 5 months without a CEO, but it can't run a single day if workers do not show up all at once one day. How much you touch your face, and how often you touch public surfaces. I didn't realize how much my work defined who I am. I'm a barber, and after a week and a half of not doing it, I feel very incomplete. As cheesy as it may sound, it's my art form and it gives me a lot of meaning. I'm very hopeful though, that I'll make it through this and be able to do it again. I'm with you. I'm a dentist, and it's weird to be healthcare but deemed non-essential. I miss my patients, and my work, and this whole thing has made me realize that I have no hobbies, except for working. A large portion of this country lives paycheck to paycheck. I've always seen the stats, but never fully realized the effect of that until now. How much food I actually waste on a regular basis. I always thought we did pretty good about not buying too many groceries or making too much, ordering too much, etc. How wrong I was. I set a goal for our household that we would use up all of our leftovers before making new stuff. It's forced me to be creative and experiment in the kitchen. Really shows you how long your pantry and fridge can actually last you. Our system isn't prepared for a big outbreak of some kind of sickness. Just how privileged I am. Don't get me wrong. I have plenty that keeps me up at night, but compared to the trouble a lot of people are in, my worries are nothing. This country is full of people having to choose between risking their family's health versus risking eviction. Folks with parents in nursing homes, who they can't visit. People with chronic health conditions, who are terrified of a flare-up while the hospitals are full. Hospital workers, who are living in their garages because there are PPE shortages at work, and they're afraid of infecting their families. I can't imagine how much stress a lot of my neighbors are under right now. Being in quarantine is difficult as duck living out of your car. How much we take for granted that everything just works. That things like a global supply chain just work. That an average Joe like me can in the dead of winter reliably expect to see oranges in the produce aisle. How much we now rely on others as a society. Globally, we rely on manufacturing from around the world. Food grown around the world. They rely on our purchasing things. How incredibly connected we can be with modern ships and airplanes and the internet. And how we didn't realize how fragile that was, or how intricately everything connected. When this all started, I didn't care about toilet paper or food for myself. I only cared about one thing. Was I going to be able to feed my cats? They are broken and spoiled. They have special dietary needs. And it humbled and awed me to see an orderly line in front of the vet's office of people maintaining social distance. Isn't it funny? We shout to each other what we take for granted. I never thought, one guy hollered, that I would ever be worried about finding food for my dog. That I took so many things for granted, like going to restaurants and just being able to go to a supermarket without worrying about what they may or may not have. That the country is full of wankers and idiots. That I married the right person. We've been self-isolating for 2 weeks now, and being with him makes the biggest difference to my overall happiness. 1. Truck drivers and healthcare workers really are the backbone of this country. 2. Confirmed that celebrities are incredibly out of touch with the real world. We're all in this together. From my $40 million mansion. Most people do not understand exponential growth. Not polluting this place for 2 weeks makes this much of a difference. Animals are probably wondering what the hell happened. Dogs are just over the moon. Cats are like, WTF? Humans? 2 things. Minimum wage workers are the backbone of our society. Americans act so irrationally during a crisis. It's a miracle that they haven't gone extinct yet. Loss of structure in school and work leads to downward spirals in depression. Professors are struggling to provide adequate information and have more difficult tests since they are take-home, which leads to a huge disconnect for the students. My university has not provided structure or guidelines for the professors to abide by, so it's all over the place, and all of them are not doing video conferencing, spiraling into thoughts of possibly not graduating this semester because of this. My mom's dying wish was for me to walk across the stage for my college graduation, but my university wants to do virtual graduations. That I really want to work from home permanently. This has been the best work week in a while. All those things I never have time to do, I was lying to myself. I lack the mental energy to do more than the bare minimum society requires of me. Now that I have set the boobs free many days in a row, I don't know how I'll go back to caging them within a bra ever again. That all those conspiracy theorists and doomsday preppers may not be as crazy as I thought. Not saying they're completely validated or justified. It's just that they seem to be way more prepared on a mental and emotional level for all this, and they are better prepared with all the goods that people are panic buying. That we can accomplish a lot more remotely than what we imagined. I'm the director of a home health agency, and all of our staff have been working remotely for the past 2 weeks. Visiting disciplines start and end from home, and there is no need for a central location. It has been incredibly efficient, and is making me wonder why we are paying rent for a building.